Thoracic outlet syndrome can cause pain and weakness and tingling in the neck and the shoulder, into the arm, the forearm, and even into the fingers. I'm going to show you 10 do's and don'ts to help you with thoracic outlet syndrome. Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Bridge. I'm a chiropractor in Helena, Montana. This channel is dedicated to helping you live the life that you have designed. Let's start with a do. The first thing that you want to do when you're curious or suspicious that you might be dealing with thoracic outlet syndrome is to get a proper diagnosis. There's 3 types of thoracic outlet syndrome, or TOS. There's venous, arterial, and neurogenic. 90+% of TOS is going to be that neurogenic, and that's really what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But with arterial and venous, it is very important that you know what you're dealing with. Some of those can be time sensitive in getting the proper treatment. Overall, when you're having a lot of pain in the shoulder, in the tricep area, on the inside of your forearm, down into those 5th and 4th digits, that's a good sign that you're having neurogenic. When you're having discoloration, swelling, coldness in the hands and in the arm, that could be a sign that you're dealing with more of a vascular issue. If you go to a professional, just based on your symptoms and your history, they're going to really have a good chance of letting you know what's going on. And if they need to get more involved, an MRI might be something to get ordered, a Doppler ultrasound, a nerve conduction velocity test. So there are tools that we can use to start to figure this out, but do get yourself a proper diagnosis. Number 2, don't compress this area. The thoracic outlet is a narrow passage that goes kind of from the crook of your neck underneath your collarbone and then down into your arm. There's not a ton of space there. Imagine you're on a very crowded elevator and you're 2 floors to go before you get to your destination. The doors open and then 2 more big people get into the elevator and then somebody farts. That's what it's like when you're having thoracic outlet syndrome. Too much compression in there. The ways that we make that even worse, let's say that you have a manual labor job and you've got a pile of 2x4s up on your shoulder or a roll of carpet. For women have thoracic outlet syndrome 9 times as often as men do. A heavy purse on this side, or bra straps, for example. If you have a thin strap on your bra, that's going to put quite a bit of pressure on this area. So if you do have duties or a job where you got to be carrying heavy things, grab another person, don't try to be Superman, and just take a couple extra trips to move those things around. Or carry them down at your side, just don't put something really heavy on there. Women who are wearing bras, try maybe a sports bra or a bra with a strap that's a little wider that's going to spread out that pressure so it's not compressing this area so much. Number 3 is maintain good posture. There are certain careers, certain jobs, activities that require someone to be in that hunched forward, bent forward posture where the shoulders come forward, they round forward, the head is hunched forward, the back is rounded. What comes to mind is somebody who's working as a checker in a grocery store, constantly scanning these items, looking down, looking for the barcode. Gamers, hunched over the keyboard or over their controller, or especially if they're down on their phone, sitting down on the phone, looking down all day. That's going to really just bring these structures closer together, close down that thoracic outlet. The pec muscles become shortened when they're in there and they tighten down. So one thing that you can do is when you notice yourself hunching forward, bending forward, remind yourself to have good posture. A great exercise for that is called Brugger's postural relief exercise, where you stand up nice and tall, you pretend that you're a marionette with a string pulling your head up nice and tall, you roll your shoulders backwards, your hands come to your sides with your elbows straight, and what you're doing is you're bringing your arms back and your shoulders back, chin tucked and back, and you're holding that for 5 to 10 seconds. Repeat as often as necessary. It's really going to stretch those muscles out, and it's actually going to strengthen those muscles that are going to bring those shoulders back together. It's a great way to counteract that forward posture. So if you do work as a checker, you're doing a lot of scanning, every time you get a chance, between customers, just stand up, shoulders back, pinch those shoulder blades together, hands back. It feels really good, and it's a great way to retrain those muscles to have proper posture. Number 4, don't underestimate the role that stress can play in all of this. I can't tell you how many patients come in and they say, "Doc, this is really where I carry my stress." They bring their shoulders up to their ears and they walk around stressed out, tense all the time. That's really going to tighten up these muscles. One of the big culprits when we're talking about neurogenic TOS syndrome are the scalene muscles, and these are muscles that come right through here, through the neck. And when you're lifting your shoulders and you're tight all the time, they're really clamping down on that thoracic outlet. Once again, compact elevator, too many people in there, we need to open that up. So find whatever stress relieving exercise is best for you. Yoga, meditation, I love breath work exercises, things that are going to just help you melt that stress away in your traps, relax that area. So if you find yourself being tight, just take a quick time out, take a few deep breaths and see what that can do for relaxing that area and helping your TOS. All right, number 5, do perform nerve gliding exercises. When I watch The Karate Kid, I'm always impressed with Mr. Miyagi when he is meticulously trimming the bonsai tree. His movements are precise and intentional. He's relaxed, he's smooth. That's what we want to do when we're doing our nerve gliding. It's not a jerky motion, it's not a strong motion. It's nice, it's smooth, it's intentional. And I'm going to show you the ulnar nerve glide. Put your hand forward on the affected side like you're going to shake someone's hand. Put your thumb and forefinger together and spread out the other 3 digits. Put those fingers at the base of your cheek and then bring up the thumb and pointer finger up around your eye like you're looking through a monocle. This brings that ulnar nerve up one way and down the other way, moving along its tract, once again, intentionally, smooth, methodically, with precision, and it can really help to relieve that symptom that you've got going on in that arm. Plus, it looks pretty dang cool too. Number 6, don't neglect other areas of compression. There's something known as double crush syndrome, and no, it has nothing to do with Leia choosing between Luke and Han Solo. It means you've got 2 areas along the nerve path that could be compressing the same set of nerves, leading to significant symptoms. So we've mostly focused on the thoracic outlet. You can also have compression around the elbow or down at the carpal tunnel. That's why, once again, how I said at the beginning, you want to talk to a provider who's comfortable treating thoracic outlet syndrome so you can get a proper diagnosis so that you can really know how you can manage this. Number 7, do consider ergonomic adjustments. If you're someone who sits at a desk all day long, make sure that you're not just rounded forward like this, constantly pecking away at your keyboard. This isn't an ergonomics assessment video, but just some general principles. A sit-to-stand desk can make a huge difference. This one I can just go ahead and raise up to the level that I need. I can work away at this computer with my arms right in front of me, the keyboard right at the right level, using the mouse so that I'm not too high or too low. I'm not hunched forward staring at the screen. Make sure that you make the proper adjustments to your keyboard, to your mouse, to your chair, and to your screen so that you aren't putting yourself in compromising situations with your posture. Number 8 is don't solely rely on passive treatments. Heat, massage, those can both be really good and feel really good. I actually would include them, but you don't want to only do those. You definitely want to include stretches and exercises. One stretch that I think is very effective, I mentioned those scalene muscles. If you're able to stretch those out, you're going to be able to relax that area. Let me show you my favorite scalene stretch. Sitting down, sit up nice and straight, and if I'm going to stretch my right scalenes, I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to hold it down onto my chair or bench, whatever I'm sitting on, to brace my body. Then with my left hand, I'm reaching over my head and I'm going to gently pull in this direction. Once I feel like I've gotten a good stretch, I'm going to actually resist by bending my head against my hand very lightly, very gently, and I'm going to hold that for 7 seconds. After the 7 seconds, I'm then going to relax this muscle and I'm going to let my left hand pull my head down even more. And once I get to a good stretch, I'm resisting, I'm pushing against that hand gently for 7 seconds. And then I'm going to do it one more time, leaning more into that stretch and slightly resisting. Even if you have the TOS on one side, I would still recommend stretching both of those sides so that you have good balance. The next exercise is a cervical retraction exercise. It's easier if I show you from the side, so I'm going to turn my body. But you're going to be sitting up in a chair nice and straight. You're going to tuck your chin down closer to your chest so that your face is straight up and down. And like a turtle, you're going to bring your head backwards, creating a double chin, and you're going to hold that for 3 seconds, and then you're going to relax. Tuck, pull back, hold for 3 seconds, repeat that 10 times, and that can be repeated 3 times a day. This next stretch is to stretch out those pectoralis muscles that we're going to have shortened and tightened from sitting or standing with that rounded shoulder posture. Go ahead and find a corner and bringing both arms up onto the walls. You're going to lean your chest forward until you feel a nice stretch across your pec muscles. Once you feel that stretch, you're actually going to resist. You're going to press your arms against that wall gently, kind of like we did with the scalene stretch, and you're going to hold that for 7 seconds. So I lean in, I find a stretch, I gently press my arms against the wall, hold for 7 seconds, and then I'm going to relax, and I'm going to lean farther in forward until I get another stretch, and I'm going to repeat that process 3 times. That's a great way to stretch out those muscles. It's very gentle, and you can do both sides at the same time. Number 9, which is our last do. Do try sleeping on your back. And I know that's going to be hard for a lot of people. It would be really hard for me. I'm a side sleeper, but I don't have thoracic outlet syndrome. When you're sleeping on your side, your shoulders have a tendency to curl forward and in. And that's just going to be crunching down on that space. If you can, try sleeping on your back. That's going to help to open up those shoulders, creating space for that thoracic outlet. If you're going to do that, find a pillow that's not too big. You don't want something, if your pillow's too thick, you don't want to be sleeping like this. People do it. You want something that's going to be supporting the natural curve in your neck, and you really want it more so on the upper traps, upper shoulders. This isn't the perfect pillow for that, but something where you're sleeping more like this. It's going to be hard. It will take some getting used to it, but after practice, you need to give your shoulders and that thoracic outlet some space. You got to open that up. And sleeping on your side's not really going to provide that for you. It doesn't mean you need to sleep on your back for the rest of your life, but you want to give yourself some time to heal from this so that it doesn't keep nagging you over and over and over again. All right, number 10, don't overdo it with the stretches and the exercises. We've gone over lots of strategies today of things to do and things to not do. Specifically, when we're looking at the stretches and the exercises, it can be like a Jenga tower. Too much poking and prodding can cause all this to crumble down. The thoracic outlet is a very sensitive area. Little changes can make a big difference. And the last thing you want to do is go to the gym and start doing overhead presses or even doing too much stretching like I showed you, which can cause this area to get inflammation and swelling and irritation, and it can make those symptoms that you're experiencing worse. So if you are doing a stretch or an exercise and you find that it makes it worse throughout that day, especially into the next day, listen to your body and back off on that. That might not be the right timing or the right exercise for you, or maybe you stretched too long, too hard, or maybe you worked out too hard on something else that you're doing. Listen to your body and back off of that. Great, if you liked today's video, if it helped you out, you might also enjoy this video right here. It's a different condition, but there is some overlap, and it can be helpful with somebody who's having pain, numbness, tingling, or weakness down into their arm. Thank you.